a fence that separates two countries. Policy stuck between love that has no bounds. Split families, abandoned children, people left behind. The line drawn between Mexico and the U.S. has always meant divisions that go far beyond geography. It was with this in mind that a group of advanced students in the Walter Cronkite School of Journalism and Mass Communication at Arizona State University set out to do a semester-long reporting project. Together, they made more than 30 trips to the border, deep into Mexico, over to Los Angeles, and across Arizona to find the stories of divided families. The Walter Cronkite School of Journalism brings you Children of the Borderlands, Divided Families. Now your hosts, Erica Tyol and Jordan Lapierre from Nogales.
Good evening from Nogales, Arizona. I'm Erica Tyol.
And I'm Jordan Lapierre. In this presidential election year, border issues have taken a backseat to the war in Iraq and a struggling economy.
But immigration is a huge problem for families on both sides of this fence.
Tonight we'll bring you the stories of both documented and undocumented immigrants struggling to keep their families together.
We'll also bring you an inside look at how these policies are affecting Americans from right here on the border. But first we bring you the story of 3 young American siblings stuck in Mexico. It's a story of abandonment by both their families and their country. La Casa de Elizabeth. It might not look like much, but to these kids, it's a castle. There are beds fit for princesses, closets full of clothes, helpers to primp, and 3 warm meals a day. Things most of these children are thankful for, but 3 of them know there's something better. They've seen it in Arizona.
They don't have the right to be here because they weren't born here.
Rainey Jr. and Elise Mejias are United States citizens, but are stranded in a foreign country. Orphanage director Manuel Vergara says they are victims of bureaucracy without an advocate.
All I know is that the Mexican consulate is the one that has to initiate the paperwork to CPS, and they're the ones that have to find their family members in the United States.
The Mexican consulate says Los Niños Mejios is just one rare case of the children they've seen orphaned on the other side of this fence when they should be here in the United States.
We are capable of connecting those minors.
Their journey to the Mexican orphanage started with a neglectful mother who, after crossing into Mexico, would leave them here alone for days. One night, Mexico's Child Protection Service, DIF, took them away.
They found the Mejia kids at a house in Nogales. At 11 at night, they called us so that we could pick them up. Then DIF turned them over to us.
Now, Casa de Elizabeth is where Rainey Jr. and Elise live. Where they could be is back in Lake Havasu, Arizona, with their great-grandmother. That home, hundreds of miles across the border, is something little Rainey pushes back in her memory. But there are some things she can't forget.
Like being with my grandma and being in a bouncing castle. And just a lot of playtime over there.
While with their grandmother, the Mejias children would spend countless days leading somewhat normal American lives, enrolled in public schools and eating at McDonald's. We showed their great-grandmother a picture of them. It's the first time she's seen her grandchildren in a year.
Poor them. I don't want them to suffer.
These relatives, both U.S. citizens, want to bring the children back, but finances and failing health make it difficult.
I want to have them. I want to care for them. We need to take care of them. I want them. I want them.
Marking the entrance of Casa de Elizabeth stands a sign promising a future for the children of Mexico. But for little Rainey Jr. and Elise, the reality of a better life is theirs if they can get back home. Chronicling the lives of the families you'll meet tonight often meant multiple visits over weeks, even months. But few spent more time following the struggles at the border than our still photographers.
Now, in her own words, Deanna Dent shares her experiences as she met the Mejia children close up and got a taste for their everyday lives.
It was just this great experience of investigative reporting and knowing that this story is going to make a difference. In the end, these kids are going to go home and hopefully it'll change some kind of policies that they have with American citizens in Mexico. Now it's been probably 9 months I've been going to the orphanage. I love kids and some of the stories you hear there are just, really sad. Being able to get to know them so well over so much time, which was great because normally you're in and out for a story really fast, and got to really get to know these kids and their family also in Lake Havasu, and they had us over for lunch and talked to us, and it's just people that I know I'm going to know for the rest of my life.
And while immigration laws toughen here in Arizona, this border fence is often what separates children from their families. No matter their nationality, American like the Mejia children or Latino, these children are having to make it on their own. And reporter Amanda Suarez joins us now with the story of one young man who had to do just that.
Jordan, immigrant families are having to choose between being together or being in America. I met one 16-year-old who was left behind in Arizona after his family was deported back to their home country. At first glance, Humberto may seem like any other 16-year-old, playing basketball with his friends, having fun. He may not show it, but he remembers very well the last day he saw his mom.
Well, I was waking up getting ready to go to school, and all of a sudden you hear these knocking everywhere, like, you know, just like bang, bang.
It was the police knocking on this door, a home that Humberto and his family shared for years, and they were bringing deportation orders for his mom and 2 older brothers. And did you ever see your mom again after that?
No, I haven't seen my mom for like 5, maybe 6 months.
Now it has been almost a year since police took Humberto's family, who had been living illegally in this small Arizona town. But for whatever reason, 16-year-old Humberto was left behind with his grandmother.
They asked me for my name, and my brother Hector was like, don't say anything, just be quiet.
Although Humberto was an illegal immigrant, many legal children are also being separated from their families. Here in Arizona, many children have undocumented parents but were born in the United States. Evelyn Cruz is an immigration law professor at Arizona State University. She says families are separated every day by deportations.
Urban Institute has done a study that shows that about 1 out of every 4 kids in the United States comes from a mixed status family.
We wanted to hear more from Humberto's family, so we packed our bags to find his mom in the small town of Ixtapan de la Sal in central Mexico.
Pues íbamos caminando, mi hijo y yo.
My son and I were walking when someone came up to us and said, "Look at these 2 over here. Give me your money."
Humberto's family is getting used to a place that, according to their passports, is home. But in their hearts, it is a foreign country.
It's a danger to be here, especially with them.
Humberto's mom and his 5 other siblings share these 2 twin beds every night. This is where they live. Their family's income of 3,000 pesos or $300 per week is not enough to feed 7 people, including Humberto.
Once high school or something after this year, maybe get a job or something, but I really don't want to do that.
While giving up an education to work may be Humberto's greatest worry, it isn't his only one.
Since my grandma doesn't know English, I have to go and pay the bills.
Humberto is also having to learn how to make it without a mom.
I know I have to go through a time where I have to, you know, grow up, but it seems like it's being taken away from me. You know, I'm getting older a little too fast.
But he says that no matter what obstacles come his way, America is his home, and he will fight to stay.
I want to do something here in America, and over there, how am I going to accomplish it?
They have a hope. And that's what oftentimes keeps us all going, a hope.
And hope is the one thing that Humberto's family has plenty of on both sides of the border. We asked Humberto's mom how important her family was to her.
Very much.
To be able to hug my mom, it'd be one of the best moments ever.